Okay, now, so the next presenter in this class is Emmanuel uh, Ngozi, and then he will be telling us about all that he knows in this particular topic. Let's allow him to introduce himself. He's a vibrant student, very generous one. Today he has some gift for us as well for the end of the year. Okay. So can you continue, Mr. Emmanuel? Thank you very much.
My name is Emmanuel Members. I'm from Nigeria. So today, my topic today is the political theory of Niccolo Machiavelli. Machiavelli.
Machiavelli, very strong man. Let's see.
He
Wow.
was the author of The Prince. A little brief about him. He's an Italian man. He's an Italian man whose philosophical concepts shaped touched many dimensions. Both people in the various government, literature, diplomacy, philosophers, and religious leaders. He was born in the year 1513 in Italy. So he has held many 1469. Yeah. So he held many positions in Italy, which he was once a diplomat, and also he was also the author of The Prince and discusses on living. So on this, as we proceed, I will give you more this thing about him. Then his father was a lawyer. During the process, his father also had one of the biggest libraries during his term. So before he went bankrupt. So the young man couldn't finish his education, so he dropped out. Then he was so desperate to acquire more knowledge, so he began self-education, going to his father's library to get more education, to study on the books in the shelf, and also participated in some various activities, educative activities. Also make sure that he asked some questions which he was very interested in. So that was how he primarily developed his idea in terms of philosophical perspective. Okay, before we proceed, we are proceeded. Okay, I have a little video about him. I have a little video about him.
You have to exit the full screen.
Is there a best way to start learning Thai as a beginner? Yes. The best way.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, we continue. So we just watched the video about how he was. So let's go to his idea. His ideas significant influenced the political philosophers in so many ways. First of all, we go to realism and pragmatism. So he majored on the practice effectiveness over moral principle, challenging the idealistic view. How he majored on effectiveness of a moral over moral principle and challenging the idealistic view. How people view about politics. Then separation of ethics and politics. So he emphasized on how to separate ethics from politics, which is a radical departure from traditional philosophers. So how will we be able to separate ethics from politics? Because politics is what maybe we read or we write on book, but when you get to the field, you know what is the real politics inside it. As we proceed, we will understand this. Okay, we go focusing on power and stability. He emphasized on power acquisitions and stability as a primary goal. So you are as a leader, what you have to emphasize is how to do what? How to hold your power. How to maintain the power that you have. How can you make the power to be suitable and stable? So you have to focus on that. Because if you don't put much interest on this, maybe trying to be a better someone, do someone, people will from the back kick you out and take over the position. They mess you up. So what do you have to do? Then you have to ensure that you do what? You sustain the power. You hold the power until your tenure expired. The rule of virtue. So he highlighted on politics like strength. So on this thing, it has a relationship with the influencing discussions on the governance. How the virtue of a ruler or the virtue of a rule of virtue, first of all, you have to consider your strengths, the quality like strength and decisiveness in effective leadership. He also introduced Machiavellianism. This is his idea on the concept of this, describing cornering political behavior. How cornering political behavior, how they operate. Also, realpolitik, he also emphasized on practical politics, influence realpolitik, national interest over minorities. Okay. I would have asked you some questions, but let's proceed. Okay. He was the one, according to his quotes, he quoted, the end justify the means. What does this mean? Explanation with example. What he meant on the end justify the means, for example, as you watch the video, he said that a prince protects his subjects. Maybe there are other people who are coming to attack his subjects. First of all, he have every right to kill anybody who he sees as an obstacle or a threat to his people. So on what he means on here, based on my own understanding, he means that it doesn't matter how many people he killed just to protect his people. What matters is what he was able to achieve after the fight. It doesn't matter how you did the job. It doesn't doesn't matter how you take the risk, but what matters is your own achievement, and you have to do it fast before it destroys other things. For example, if you see people coming to attack you or attack your people in your own place, you will go extra mile to protect your people. You can go extra mile, even killing them. At the end, you end up protecting your people. So what matters is, what is your achievement after that? Is it good? If your achievement is okay and justifiable, then okay, you are correct. But if your achievement isn't that justifiable or wrong, maybe you answer query for that. So this is what I understood by the end justify the means. What you achieve after the fight. So I think this quote implies in some of our African region today. Especially in my country, it doesn't matter how you make money. It doesn't matter what you do to make it. What matters is, did you achieve the money? It doesn't matter how you are suffering here. Nobody cares about how you are suffering here. What they care is about, did you make the money? Did you achieve the boss? So that is all they cares about. So this also relates to his own philosophical concepts. Okay. We proceed, linking it to linking his philosophical life, his life history and political idea. Then remember, influence from Italy, Florence. His experience when he was, his experience in the struggling of the country got his interest and in his political perspective. So because the country was also struggling so hard, and there are many political imbalance in the country, which also he learned many things on that aspect. Okay. Oh, we know the country was a state known as a complex political landscape, where different factions void to control, often through coloring and manipulation. So the country then, people or the then politicians, they were all interested on how to manipulate people, how to trick people. So it also shaping his ideology in political aspects. Then also, coming to pragmatic approach, which his term as a diplomat also helped in reshaping his philosophical concept in pragmatic approach, which he was involved in negotiating other foreign political holders, foreign powers, dealing with them, having a negotiation with them. From there, he was able to have some experience on how a system of governance is being taught in his own idea. So also on this, his pragmatic approach is evident in his writing, where he emphasized the need for rulers to patronize stability and effectiveness over adherence to moral principle. So they have to prioritize stability. Stability means how to be stable in the office you find yourself, and the effectiveness to deliver effectively with the office over this moral principle. Then challenge to his wisdom. So his political ideas challenge the prevailing wisdom of his time, which often emphasized the importance of moral virtue in governance. He argued for the separation of ethics and politics, asserting the rulers should be willing to employ any means necessary to maintain power and stability. That a leader or a ruler should deploy every means to maintain the power and stability of the nation. So his departure from the traditional moral and ethical consideration sparked controversy and led to his work being condemned by many contemporary thinkers and religious authorities. So on his idea, saying that a ruler must do everything possible to do what? To maintain power. And to maintain power, so many people condemn this action. So both the religious leaders and the other political thinkers, they condemn his approach by saying that we have to do everything to hold the power. So then we have enduring influence. Many people condemn his approach on these aspects. So, but he emphasized on realism, pragmatic, and the pursuit of power. So these also have made many scholars and peacemakers to involve in more research, to conduct more research about it. Even many countries today are using this approach, especially in some parts of the African countries. You see, most of the leaders, rulers, or politicians, they are doing everything to make sure that the power belongs to them. Not only in Africa. For example, in North Korea also, they adopt some of these ideas. So in other countries we think that are well developed, they adopt these to make sure that they remain in power. Okay, when we look at this picture, the first was, when you see on the first picture shown on the arrow, it says that people are selfish, they are self-centered. Human being, everybody have what he or she expects. They are self-centered. They are self-centered. What I want. They do anyhow they want. They want to achieve anything they want without anybody controlling them. Then as a leader, on the second page, all these people, they need leader who will lead them. So as a good leader, you have to sit back, watch the masses, watch the people, know what they want, how do they want it. Then you discuss among your elites, your group. These people you are seeing, this is what they want. This is what they want. How can we do it? How can we achieve it? And they know that if they achieve that, as a leader, give them what you want, what they want, and take what you want. They want electricity. They want to enjoy their life. Yeah, give it to them. They want this, give it to them. Then when you give it to them, you come back and take what you want. For example, in Africa, in my country today, you see, what are people looking for? They are looking for electricity, good road. Once you give them electricity and good road, they become the best leader. I'm giving them those things. While working on these things, you also can use that opportunity to gain whatever you want to gain, because you are working and people are not looking after you because you worked. But if you didn't work anything, that means the way. Okay, let's go back. So, on this approach, he talked about humans are self-interested. Most of their self-interest for human beings, they only measured on what they want, what they like. Oh, I want this. Don't think that they love your leader, they love the government, or they love people under you, they love you. What they are after is what they want, what they can gain, and what they want to gain from your leadership. So, and all these people, if their goals are not being achieved, you see how they will condemn you. If they didn't get what they want, those people praising you today because they are gaining from you. If they didn't get, or tomorrow you take out what they gain, then you see how they will abandon you and follow another person, which we call follow who no road. Human nature is changeable. People are inconsistent. So on this, it talks about that people, they are inconsistent. They follow you today, they can be manipulated. What you have to do, offer them bigger money, you see how they will betray you. So they cannot, their mind or human being, they are changeable. You can change them. So they may show loyalty or support when it serves their purpose. When what you are doing is serving their purpose, they will show loyalty and their support. But when you take out that from them, then they will abandon you and go to another person who can give them what they want. So that was his own ideology. So his own ideology. Then we go to pessimism towards trust and loyalty. He viewed of human loyalty as ascertaining that people are generally unreliable. You cannot rely on human being. If you rely on human being, one day they will do what? They will betray you. So, ascertaining that people are unreliable when their interests are threatened. When their interests are threatened, they walk away. So he famously argued that a ruler should not depend on promises or loyalty when managing power. When managing power, you should not focus or you should not depend on promises of people. Oh, we will do this, I will do this, I will do this when you have power. Then you begin to allow people to come to your office or come to your territory to do anyhow they want because you give them free hand. They are just using your office. But when their interest is not being achieved or when you seize their interest, they will abandon the loyalty and walk away from you. Same thing, we can see it in different countries today. Some political parties, the campaign from this political party to another. For example, you see when PDP was in power, many people were, oh, PDP, everywhere PDP. But when APC took over, you see many people, they began to abandon party and they campaign to the ruling party because they are not loyal to the party. They are only loyal to that position which you are holding at that particular moment. So once the position is being taken away from you, a shift and change. That's why our His Royal Highness says, which means anywhere we see if a jeep changes the position, then you also, your eyes will also turn that place, because no more focus on this. They have taken away what belongs to this. They are focusing on this. So the same thing we are having today. You see many people, they are decamping from one place, one office to another, because they couldn't achieve, or what they were achieving on that position is no more there. Another person has taken over. So they have to abandon the people or the person who held that position then and focus to the person who have the yam. So on another proverb, they said that a goat follows who holds the yam, or who holds his food. Once you give the food to another person, the goat will leave you and follow the other person who is holding the food. Okay. Fear and love. He argued on this. If you cannot achieve the both, he advised you achieve fear more than love. He advised the ruler, he argued that while it is ideal to be both feared and loved, if one must choose, it is better to be feared than love. What is he trying to say? That as a king or a leader, allow people to fear you and to love you. The way they are loving you, they are using your office. They love you, they are using your office, they are gaining from your office, and if that finish, they no more love you. But if they fear you, nobody will come to your threat. Nobody will do nonsense. For example, you see when for example, the Russian government, okay, for example, Putin. You see why people are afraid of when they hear Putin. Because who? They are afraid of him. But assuming they love him, oh, we love him, for example, Obama, we love Obama, we do this, where did it end? Condemning him. Today, nobody is talking about Obama again. So, and they come. When they love you, they destroy your leadership, make it to be in a place where people will, where they can embezzle anyhow they want, go free, be praising you, we love you, the people, they are so happy, this, they mess up your office. But if they feared you, or if you put yourself in a place where people will fear you, they will not have any day. In fact, for example, when Buhari was in position, people was afraid of Buhari. Oh, people was afraid of Buhari. Oh, Buhari, if you talk, if you do anyhow, you go to prison, you do this, you just do this. People was afraid of him, and nobody did what? Nobody jeopardized with his leadership until he finished his tenure and also hand over genuinely. Today, nobody is talking about him. But good luck, Jonathan. Many, oh, we love good luck. Well, he was a very nice man. After everything, what happened? The office. Today, if you talk about good luck, Jonathan, you will say, oh, look that man. So, appearance and deception. Okay, he talked about the importance, he emphasized on the importance of appearance in human nature. He believed that people are easily swayed by superficial qualities, and that a successful ruler often needs to manipulate perception to maintain power. Deception and cornering are something necessary because most people do not see beyond surface surface level impression. Most people do not see the surface level impression, so you cannot easily manipulate people to achieve what you want. Okay, human creature. Humans as creature of habit. He noted that while humans are capable of great innovation, they often cling to tradition and the family and the familiar. Okay? Okay, to further illustrate what he means on this picture, when you look at the first picture, this, he said that this is the first picture is talking about people wear face masks of virtue. People wear face masks of virtue within themselves. But when you come close to them, it's so deceitful with their own personal ambition. So, the first picture, we see the man there is wearing a virtue or face mask of virtue, coming to you, approaching you, telling you all sorts of good things. But inside them, that is not what they practice. What they say is not what they practice. Okay, the second also is talking about how people hypocrisy in religious figures. When they have or when they got what they want, they begin to do what? Do their own. When they have achieved their personal interest, they see them. Okay, on this, it talks about this priest rose may symbolize the virtue, but beneath them lies a manipulative and optimistic nature, represented by the characters through intentions. So on this is a pope. We see him wearing a pope, wearing the uniform as a saint human being. But inside him, he is so manipulative. For example, in some part of the world where the current church on earth, those people you see, I am a pastor this, pastor that, when you just give them the opportunity to do business with you today, you will see how they will eat your money. You see how they will, you see their true color. Just make a transaction of money with them. You see their true color on that. Okay, so this also, this one is talking about the personal gain of human being. Also talking about the manipulation of human being, how they achieve their desire. Once they achieve their desire, that is the end. Then you go to the final stage, which is the nature of love. People use charm. They can also use charm to tell you everything, maybe using charm on you for you to love them. Then they get what they want. After that, all becomes misguided and false. So whatever all the messages they preach to you becomes false when you are looking to their to the inside. Okay, there comes on his death. His death. So this Italian political philosopher and author of The Prince, he died on June 21st, 1527. So what prompted his death? His death comes shortly after the Mediacan family regained control of Florence, which ended his political career and led to his marginalization. So he passed away at the age of 58 years and was buried in the church of Santa Croce in Florence. So the political philosopher is renowned for his pragmatic and often controversial idea about power and governance. One of his famous quotes from the Prince is, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." This quote reflects Machiavelli's belief that a ruler's primary concern should be maintaining power and stability. He should maintain the power and stability, even if it requires action that may not endure them to their subjects. The action that maybe it will not affect your subjects. Anyhow you want to do, anything you know that you can do to maintain this power within your own power, make it. The end justify the means. So he also argued that while being loved can inspire loyalty, being feared is more moral, reliable way to ensure obedience and order. Okay, that comes to my conclusion. So his life, like I said, his life in Florence was so, his pragmatic approach to governance, his challenge and conventional wisdom, and the enduring influence of his idea collectively demonstrate the profound impact of his life history on his political philosophy. He was his political philosopher. So, in pragmatic view, Machiavelli's understanding of human nature is neither inherently good nor evil, but pragmatic and rooted in realism. He did not condemn human self-interest or optimism, but accepted these traits as part of the human condition. For him, the successful ruler is one who understands and navigates these aspects of human nature effectively, using them to consolidate power and achieve stability. This perspective marked as departure from idealistic view of humanity, emphasizing the practical realities of governance over moral or ethical concern. For more understanding, because this is my own little understanding, you can also visit this website to get more understanding on what his political philosopher or perspective is all about. Thank you for your attention. Any question?
The most important thing in my country is that listening to you appear to have understood the philosophy very well. And that's the main thing. That's the idea of allowing students to do the presentation. Okay. Any question? Because there should be The end justifies the means. You know, what does that tell you? You have never opposed this thing. Why? Huh? Okay, maybe you can go and check it and tell me that I will use that as a Christmas. Because you need it before it comes to us. Okay. Political. Okay. This man is a very reason you and I are suffering. Yeah. But this is the politics mostly in Africa. Machiavellianism. They call it manipulation of the consciousness of the simple mind. This is the year of voting. Then I make you guys hungry. I starve you from not having enough. So during the year of voting, I will start visiting you from home, giving you something. You see, even some of them they will drive a motorbike because it's the year of voting, and then you see them coming to church, moving from one village to another because the year of voting. Manipulation of the consciousness of the simple mind. Use and done. Once the vote is finished, then it becomes the president, becomes prime minister, or senator, or whatever. He has nothing to do with you. But before the vote, you can talk with him or her. He or she will have your number. And then you communicate. And you'll be happy that you are now talking with a prominent person. Immediately after the vote, then to see the person is the problem. The secretary, and all those kinds of things. The manipulation of the consciousness of the simple mind. The end justifies the means. Another one is that this man also is the reason why politicians would like to assassinate the other one because he's blocking you. You might say assassin, they kill him, eventually become the president. So the means you get to the president doesn't matter. But the end, the fact that the president is the end justifies the means. Because as the president, therefore, perfect. It doesn't care how you got to the president, whether you kill this person, kill that person to get to that position. That doesn't matter. So that person, end justifies the means. Are you guys getting the point? Very dangerous set of kind of. And again, one thing I will with him is that, yeah, I am the president. Chelsea is my problem. Then even if I don't kill her, I will set up a military. Or I create a situation that will cite her to talk too much and go to the protest. Why shoot aside? The target is Chelsea because it has been killed in our meeting. But just to make it look as if people are whatever they got killed. Or the military, my Minister of Education, people are complaining that educational policy is not working. But I am the one that caused it. But because I want them to not to see me as a person, I went and created a situation that the minister, I fired the minister, so that they will look at me as if I'm a good person. But in actual sense, I was one that caused what told the minister what to do. But people started protesting, and I'm not happy. Then I sacked the minister just to make them look as if and also let them know that I'm in charge, not actually the minister. Whatever. Or the military man or policeman that is very tough. I am the one that created the police for that. But when they started talking about the police person, I created a situation where the police person was killed. The end justifies the means. No matter what you did to get to the post, doesn't matter. You can steal and get to a particular, get what you want. Provided you got what you want. Remember the story of Hens, the woman that was about to die, and the husband. So if you apply Machiavelli, it means that you go and kill the robbers and take the medicine and then give to your wife to send the life to your wife. Do you still remember that story? So Machiavelli is that the end justifies the means. So remember, so you have contribution. sometimes can elicit a character. So you can get quick because you have to understand it where it's going. Look at it very clearly. Hey, listen first. Look at it very clearly. Arguing about philosopher is very not as simple as they are not the same. Okay, now Machiavelli prioritizes practical effectiveness over moral principles. Over moral principles. Are you guys there? Prioritize practical effectiveness over moral principles. There's no morality. And if we operate in this kind of principle, in this class we cannot even stay here because one of us will kill all of us. Okay, that's number one. Number two, look at how Emmanuel doesn't put it there. Separation of ethics and politics. He advocated for the separation of ethics from politics. So it doesn't matter whether you read good or not. Politics is there, ethics should be there. A radical departure from traditional philosophy. You see? Well, I just want you to know something. Hold on, I will say it. I want you to know something. Look at what is, I'm just trying to explain so that you can understand what it means here. Separation of ethics and politics. He advocated the separation of ethics from politics. Why should we separate ethics from politics? Isn't that why we're suffering from developing countries? Yeah. Just like myself, a teacher, separate my teaching and politics. I mean morality. Of course, I'm a sinner. Of course, I'm not a moralist. I will say that, but I can never justify my immoral act. You have to be bold, be honest enough to say that you don't do this correctly, you don't do it correctly. And not to use a position in a very immoralistic way. That's what we need to watch. So, focus on power and stability. See, what matters is if I'm in authority, I have to be very strong. I wouldn't like Emmanuel to fuck me up there, to mess me up there. I wouldn't like Smith to mess me up there. Rather, I will destroy them before they destroy me. You get that? You get that? Emphasize power acquisition and stability as a primary goal, redirecting attention to practical political reality. My main primary goal to be in my position as the president, to be in my position as prime minister. Nothing more, nothing less. In fact, my friendship with you is centered on that. That is exactly what the president has said. That we are human nature, we are just like that. If I don't use you, if I don't use that principle, you may use it against me too. Because if you use me, after using me, you dump me and go and start gossiping against me. Hello? You know, it's just like a two coin. A coin of two faces. How do you say it?
It's like a two-sided coin.
Two-sided. Because if I don't, you will. That is his own principle. You just unuse me, use my office, get everything that you want and what you have wanted, fulfill everything I wanted, and just start talking against it, forgetting all the good things that I did and letting it back. That's what he's saying too. So it's kind of both ways. On the leader side, using the people, or even the people using the leader. Human nature. That's exactly what he said. The role of virtue. He highlighted qualities like strength, decisiveness in effective leadership, influencing discussions and governance. You can look at how that man is. Do you see the photo there? Just decide what you want to do. Let the people go to that. Provided I satisfy what you want to do. Machiavellianism. His ideas led to the concept of Machiavellianism, describing cunning political behavior, craftiness, very cunning kind of a person, very crafty kind of a person. Now you may be reading, if you read newspaper, you may be hearing about this real politics. What does that mean? Emphasize on political politics, influence real politics, prioritizing national interest over morality. This country is about to fight us. We have to concentrate on them. Whether if we concentrate on them, we will kill people, we will destroy our own value in the country. Things about. Okay, let's get back to another for your contribution. I used the opportunity to make some clarification.
Because Machiavelli, if you
not saying that you cannot express yourself because of what that person is thinking about you or what. Because even in the office, just being in that office, someone else is very angry in his or her own nature. Just being in that office, someone is not comfortable because doesn't know why you should be there. He sees you, he negatives everything that you are doing. Whatever you do is negative. In fact, he's looking for, he doesn't understand why you should be in that office and not him. I mean, we have to understand that.
Yeah, this security, for you to secure your office, there is a strategy.
I'm talking about you saying haters because no
Yeah.
matter what you do, haters are there.
Yes, that's why we very clear us in this that we should applicate the life of being on. Yeah,
Okay, so you have.
because once you be on, nobody.
But then, even after being corny, do you think you have solved your problem?
Yes, at least we are getting to the point of solving the problem. Even though you are still trying to applicate some strategy
concept that Machiavelli says. People will love you one time when you have something to offer. When you don't, they'll kick you. So that's why I think this concept, it exists in different ways, just not involving the killings. Now, coming to Machiavelli and his philosophy, I think it made sense in his time, because this was a time there was little or no regard to human rights. So when he says the end justifies the mean, in his time, he doesn't even think human rights at this point. But in the modern world that we live in, I don't think the end justifies the means can be a philosophy that can be applied in any aspect of our lives. Because you have to, if you do something, you have to be able to face the consequences of it. Which is why I think in his time, maybe it would have worked. But in our time, the current 21st century, I don't think you can get away with as a leader, apart from African leaders. But a true leader, a Leviathan, I don't think you can get away with the end justifies the means.
Okay.
But in some places it works, some contexts it may work.
Emmanuel, do you think what do you think I am? Do you think I'm Machiavellian?
I think so.
Excuse you.
Okay.
Explain why.
Yes, explain your position.
Why?
Okay, now you know why I
The
say
reason,
so. Okay, let me tell you.
the reason why,
Say it.
Let me say.
no, the reason why I want to ask, this is why I want to ask every year. I try to ask this. I had some students say I'm Machiavellian.
No.
And some students say I'm not. That's why I'm asking. Then after explaining, then tell me whether you are also
Okay.
Machiavellian.
The reason I say so is that there is a day we are deliberating on the issues of Nigerian politics and how P2B were busy campaigning up and down. And he told me, look at P2B, he's busy campaigning up and
It's starting from them. It's starting from them.
What is determining the effectiveness of a governance is force.
Personal. I know. I pass government. I say yo. Because I want to get down to the.
I know that is your.
No, forget about governance now. I say you.
Second, I say first, personality of an individual. You understand?
In protect, I say you
Yes,
now.
if you listen.
How do you currently implementing this thing within the Africans I've seen so far? So that when you become a leader tomorrow, it's very easy for you to Machiavellianize them. As a Machiavelli. So it will be very easy to Machiavelli them. Because it's not very easy to say something. Implementing this thing is not the issue. And then tomorrow you become a leader, how do you Machiavelli them?
All ties are Machiavelli.
Exactly. So I'm hoping, what do you, what am I waiting? This is about you.
The African.
I want to understand, because this is about you.
What I understand, if you see in terms of African settings and the West with Asia, is that these three settings.
We are not talking I am talking about you. How will you implement this? And I've been implementing it now in the current level you are. As a Machiavellian, who will Machiavelli them when you become a leader?
It's not position or happening now.
Nothing about position. There's someone daily. You see how we run away from it. At the end of the day, you become a leader. You don't need to be a leader before then. There are so many things I'm doing today. I talked about it before I became in the position. I'm implementing them. So as for you, in your day-to-day relationship and friendship with your fellow blackers.
First, protecting my interest and interest of my brother. Because if you are protecting your own interest, you should as well protect the interest of your brother. And why protecting the interest? Because he who is protecting the interest of your brother is as well defending and fighting for him at the same time. Because at the side of along the line you protecting the interest of your brother, you being attacked by people who don't want you to protect that interest. So it now
The same way the leaders will be attacked by foreign leaders by staging opposition in order to get them out of office. Continue.
So it is need for you to be able to tackle these challenges that may come across you while protecting this interest. You have to stand firm, you have to stand strong, you have to go enough, you have to you have to devise a means of defending this person in terms of the theory, in terms of practical aspect. It comes in where face-to-face confrontation. You have to stand bold enough to defend any argument that might come across first. So if you are not basically strong on that, you may be defeated. So, but Machiavelli is to applicate it in our individual or daily living. We have to have this mindset of having power to protect the interest of us and our relative and our fellow Africans.
I think this is more practical because I don't want us to be told theoretical all the time. We start today, here and now, to do that which we expect Tinubu to do, or that we expect Buhari or whoever that comes up. What is the president of your country? You start implementing that which you expect him, and then your country.
He's a Machiavellian.
William
Ruto.
Yeah. We start today, here and now. The problem with most developing countries or like developed countries in the classroom is that we are too theoretical and we tend to be accusing the leaders. But my worry is that myself accusing this leader. If you do a business with me, you have a problem with me because I'm not straightforward. It's possible that you are also like me. So, who is deceiving who? You are waiting to be the leader before you become a good protector of your brother's keeper, your sister's keeper. It doesn't work that way, naturally. That which you expect any leader of your country to do, start today. Because even starting today, you see how difficult it is. Let's say that Emmanuel, if you want to defend me now, you will see how difficult it is to defend me. There are people that will starve you if you do that. If you benefit something, you won't benefit it again. And so we begin to have problems with some people. Why are you defending this idiot? Why are you defending satanic man, or diabolic man, or hopeless idiot? You will even start having a problem just for defending me or not even your own problem. So the same thing is applicable in international politics. When America's interest is there, how do you expect Tinubu to come? It sounds so easy, but it's not. Because even in the country, Tinubu has his own problem too, has his own position too, has his own fears too. And the only thing he can do sometimes to now liaise the American interest in order to make sure he protects that. Or even France. Maybe there is an issue. You remember that when they have issue with Niger, he was the ECOWAS president and they were blah, 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 blah. And then this Mali and Burkina Faso and Niger, now they have formed a confederation at the moment. But that time, Tinubu was almost very strong against them. But that was also the time he was having court case in the Supreme Court. So it's possible that you help me here, I help you there. These are possibilities. If you think it's easy, start now. Just even myself that is not like very controversial. Who am I going to say? Myself that is very controversial. Or imagine you go to your college and begin to defend. By the time you finish defending, then they will tell you why you are defending me. Maybe I have something to do with you or whatever. Create stories that sometimes true, sometimes lies. You begin to even to ask yourself, why did you even start defending? The same is applicable. So it's not sometimes leadership is not as easy as we think. It's only easy in our mouth. And only easy in a classroom. Be in that position, then you know what it is. But I'm so happy that I came into this country and happen to be in the position that I found myself in an academic institution. I saw a lot. Because sometimes you are seeing what you are seeing, and the student is not even seeing that. And the student is seeing something different. So, my brother, I don't know whether you are getting there. Start and see, and you see how far. Or even if you see Emmanuel, start defending Emmanuel against a fellow Nigerian that hates him with passion. Whether what he hates him for is true or not. But the point is that, don't forget that we are psychologically dismantled, that we keep fighting one another, that we keep fighting and fighting, creating competition. We are often very competitive. We see my progress only when I see that I'm better than Emmanuel because I see my progress only when I am better than Emmanuel Obi. So as any time that I see Emmanuel Obi coming up, it becomes a threat. And this threat can come in so many ways that I have to do certain things in order to break him down or begin to sieve out his weaknesses. And then, as if I don't have weakness, but I'll begin to sieve out and look for his own weakness in order to bring him down. And begin to take, and we are very good in doing that, especially in African setting. Because we are community people. Each time we gather, call it association, call it whatever. What do we even discuss there? Most times when some of us come there to give me money that I gave you last year and you ran away. Now I've seen you at the meeting. You must give it to me today. And that's why we are there. Or we are there in order to create another thing that is creating a bad name for us. If you say something good, we are in trouble. So the point is that if you talk about colonial, you have to baptize yourself to get yourself over certain things. You have to even do a mental surgery. Change it in your brain, first of all, so that you'll be free. Because we're in prison. The kind of imprisonment we put ourselves into is not just a colonial imprisonment, but the point that the effect of it, coming from kindergarten, coming from primary school, coming from our religious I will leave my problem and start talking about the problem of the man or the way he's walking, or the look at his face. He has not even got his head today. And I mean, we created so many monsters ourselves because we are not even learning. So it's not only about leader. Until you get into that position, you understand why the military is not the problem. That maybe there is a country that is very powerful and is affecting your country. And they are not showing themselves because they are going at the back and making a hell of money from the situation. You see that? That is why we're in this class. This is a political science. This is a class of international relations. We should reason better than others. So Machiavellianism, the end justifies the means. Are we okay with that? Is that the summary of the class? Is that the summary of the class? Okay. So thank you very much, Ivan Rosie, for your wonderful presentation and the Machiavellianic stand. Wow.